Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Wrong color. But today we will be doing what if India had a civil war? So India basically will just have a normal election, right? But that election is soon rigged by many pro-Pakistans, this region, and many other groups. And this will cause many in India to be very frustrated at Pakistan and just in India as a general as how did they let this happen? And many will see this as an opportunity and very much so, not very much so, but and will be very much so scared of any threats such as India is a very democratic nation and is a very peaceful nation towards many other nations besides Pakistan and many other places, but this will cause shock and fear across the entire world stage. So, this green team will get many international aid from Pakistan and China, actually, and they will be able to connect up and just gain a lot of support from many Pakis, oh my gosh, Pakistanis. And the green team and the red team are kind of allies because the red team is the Chinese people. Mm, and the green team are the pro Pakistans and pro Chinese, and these two are pretty much close because these two are working together. And so the Chinese team will give them this land to occupy, jeez, and they will pretty much just go very rampage into India and getting a lot of territory and very much population. And the blue team, they will not act dumb. They will not let this happen, and they will actually be able to push back the green team as they don't have that much aid. As the blue team has pretty much, they lost at least 500 million people, maybe more. I'm just using estimations, and they will be able to push the green team very well. But the green team will continue their offensive, trying to reach all the way down to the coast, and it's going to be a stalemate actually happening. But the next event will be the Chinese team attacking the Bengali team as they want to gain more popularity. And this doesn't very much so boost their popularity, but it does at the same time as they force people to go under their rule. And they actually move into the blue team's territory, going very well as they are forcing Nepal to let them go through them or let their troops, let the Chinese troops go through. And this Purple Rebellion will soon be collapsed over to the Chinese team. And the Chinese team is looking very good for right now, as they have they have lots of large economic hubs for India, as these two cities or two major cities, these two and this one. So yeah, that's pretty good. But the purple team or the Bengali team isn't going down just like that, as they get support from the Orange Rebellion or the authoritarian government of India or rebellion, as they are able to very much so push the Chinese back, and not much though, as they do very well, and it just stops right there. But this will boost the Orange Team's rebellion a lot, and the authoritarian government will actually get aid from the um original Indian um government to invade the southern Indian what's it called, rebellion, as this is a very large rebellion and has to be one of the strongest rebellions. And so basically, both of them will use their combined strengths, and they will go pretty deep into southern India, and they will get holy voice crack, and they will get of a lot of southern India, but not a lot because southern India's wealth is more in the south and not really in min- inland. And they're going to have a rough time trying to get down there, as the Golden Rebellion is very much well defended, as they kind of have a little front line here already prepared, and the blue team's already here, and they're continuing to send troops down. It's not going well, as they actually cut off the orange team or Orange Rebellion, and this kind of makes the Orange Rebellion mad, as they actually begin to move into the Blue Rebellion, or not the Blue Rebellion, but the blue team. And this will spark a brand new front line against the blue team. And the purple team will do the same, but they can't, as they already get invaded by the Chinese team again. Surrender again. And the authoritarian government isn't playing around now, as they are ready. And they are taking land fast, trying to gain as much dominance as possible in international aid, as they already are from many countries, from mostly African countries, as these guys promised a lot of trade with, like, just these countries, these guys. So they're getting a lot of international aid from these guys. And the authoritarian government is doing very well, until the blue team makes a deal with the red team that if you help me defeat the authoritarian government, I let you be free. And that is a complete lie, actually, as the blue team was prepared and will easily begin their offensive into the orange team, and retaking many old lands and just becoming a lot stronger. And authoritarian government was not expecting this, as the Chinese make it and begin to take their coastline, as the Chinese really want a puppet state in this region, so they can have access to the Indian Ocean. I don't know what I know. The Bengal Sea, to the Bengal Sea. I'm pretty sure. I think that's what it's called. Um, and they're going to be very successful in doing that, as they get very much of the orange team's coastline, while the blue team will take basically the entire thing. And the Chinese and Indian teams kind of, or these two are kind of neck to neck, as they have the exact same economic wealth, but this team isn't really getting funded by anyone, and they will actually invade the Chinese team, trying to cut this off, and which they actually do. And this entire region will actually collapse very fast, as it's very hard to send troops here from all the way to here. No. And the Chinese team is crumbling fast. Well, the mountainous region is. But they will hang on a little bit. But the Indians will be able to regain a lot of territory and take a lot of their coastline until they are blockaded and have to get a stalemate. But moving over to the Golden team, with India's newfound power, they will be able to actually push into the Golden team's defensive line and get very deep into the Golden team and actually makes them surrender, which is a very good thing. And these two are going to have to team up against the blue team, as none of them can actually solo-handedly defeat the blue team. And actually, that is what happens, as the green team will do a spearhead all the way down the coast of the blue team, trying to take as much land and economic wealth, as they already have a lot of economic wealth from the blue team. And they will get a sustainable front line, as they get many protesters and supporters, as they try to spearhead and try to cut off this region from this region. And the Chinese is the same thing, but it's very much slower. And there's going to be a full-out battle right here for whoever gets this. And the person who wins is actually India, as they push back the green team exponentially. And the Chinese team, yeah, they're cooked, as China is starting to not support this team anymore, as they don't see it as a really point because of how weak they are now. And soon enough, they actually begin to start losing land, and yeah. And I'm not going to go in depth about India's and China's relations, as technically India would technically be at war with China and Pakistan right now, but we're not going to talk about that. But India versus pro Pakistan, in which that is going to happen, as India will do a spearhead, reaching all the way here, getting their largest spot, and will be able to pretty much like do very well in taking the northern parts. And India will have a very hard time going down in this region, as it's very difficult. But after several of months, maybe even years of fighting, the green team will do a miraculous turn of events and actually do a very, very good counteroffensive, regaining a lot of their former lands, as the green team and Chinese are only focusing on this, and the green team is actually being super successful, and they will do something, and they will ask the Chinese rebellion to repop up, and this is going to be a very large problem for the Indians. The Indians did not have any troops in this region, so these guys, whoa, I mean that. So these guys will get a lot of the Bengal region, try to retake their former lands, and they only get to here, as the Indian troops stationed in this region are now sent up here and are split, which kind of allows both these teams to take a lot of land. And India's trying their best to not crumble again. And they are on the brink of death. And so they just kind of just call in the United States to just help them. Which actually the United States just actually goes ahead and just goes on Pakistan's team and helps them. But in all seriousness, the Indian team technically won, if we're being for real. And they have the population, and yes, I know Pakistan technically would have joined the war, as actually not even would have. They are technically in the war, if you really think about it, as these guys were directly aiding, and these guys were directly aiding. So I'll just give this to the Indian victory, as technically these guys did win, as the red team died and the green team was on the brink of death. So yeah, I hope you guys really did enjoy. This might be a very short video. But yeah, I might do a battle royale video, possibly. You would have to see what that is though. But peace. Oh, first, forgot to say this. If you guys did enjoy the video, hope you guys like and subscribe. And now, actually, peace.